I wanted to be a part of a team because I love that. And I think that's what I missed through COVID because I was by myself for a year and months. And once I was a part of a team, I think I started thriving again. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
coaching is for sure that's ultimate dream.
What up, winners? You're now watching and listening to another episode of the Taco Thursday with JK podcast, and I am your host, JK. And you know I'm all about helping young adults win in life and at life, and I do so by tackling different topics on each episode that young adults experience, young adults face. And man, today I got a special guest. This is first, like you said, the first hopefully of many. Well, I got a
Yes.
former scholar, somebody I taught, has went on and excelled, graduated from college, man. He hails from Nashville, Tennessee. All right, he is a graduate of Republic High School, right? And
Nice.
he is a recently new HBCU grad from the great
Yes,
Tennessee
sir.
State University. Gentlemen, y'all help me welcome my special guest, Austin Simpson. What up, Austin, bro? How you
Man,
doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, coach? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing
Great.
better. Got you on the show now, man. And
Great.
like I said, man, and we talked a little bit before we did the intro, bro. Just
Mm,
you my first scholar
yeah.
that I taught and now I have on the podcast. And I feel like you're making me feel old, bro. Because I know when I met you, you
mm,
was a senior.
mm,
So it's not like a lot of years have went by, but to say that, man, my first graduating class or my first class of students that I taught, man, they graduate in high school. They
yeah, man.
21, 22 years old, man. So definitely congrats on that, man. And how have you been, bro? How a recently new college graduate, how has it been for you?
It's for sure different. You know what I mean? Because for four, actually longer than four, since kindergarten, you've been having this school on the back of your mind, stressing and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird not having to worry about, school, and you're kind of worried about like your career now. So I think that's just a new stage in my life right now. Yeah.
Man. So in a sense, like I know in it just, not too many weeks have went by, whatnot, man. Like,
Mhm.
is the life after college at this point what you expected, or is still like that gray area of like, what do I do now? I'm not waking up
Yeah.
going to school. Like,
Mhm.
like how is that feeling?
Well, it's a little gray. It's a little gray, but it's one of them things where it's like I have a goal set out or what I want to do, and it's just who's gonna give me that opportunity to kind of show my worth and what I've been working for these last 4 years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's a little gray, but I know me. I know my work ethic. As long as I just put myself out there, I think I'll be fine.
most definitely, bro.
Yeah.
And I the point when you said me, right?
Mm,
Because I as a senior. And one of the
mm.
things, like now, man, I just finished my 5th year teaching, bro. Time flying, bro. Right.
Man.
And so
So wait,
when
you are first?
y'all was my first class, my first
Man,
year
that's
teaching.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all was my first year teaching. And, today as a teacher is not, with you all. I'm learning. I was on the fly.
Mm,
I was planning lesson plans by
yeah.
night. You feel me?
Hmm.
And so, just remember talking to you all about dreams and having goals and things of that nature. And I remember one of the things that you said, like you was like, man, I want to, I'm gonna go to TSU and I want to get into, managing, equipment managing, athletic training, things of that
Yeah.
nature. And they're saying, no, I'm calling the TSU basketball game, and I see you,
Mm,
bro. So how
yeah.
how did how did that occur? Like, how did that happen from high school, saying that you wanted this is what you were going to do, and then
Mm.
going to college, and that's what you was doing.
COVID started my senior year. So I think that year and like 3 months of me just being in the house, that really kind of killed my social battery. So my first 2 years at TSU, I was doing nothing but just going home, going to class, not really meeting nobody, not really talking to nobody. Until no, until the end of my sophomore year, I met this guy. He was the head manager for men's basketball. I think at that time I was kind of tired of, like just going to school and not doing anything because it felt like I was really just wasting my time. So he always wore like basketball stuff, TSU basketball stuff. So I just assumed he was on the team. So I asked him, he was like, yeah, "Nah, I just manage." So I was like, "Well, Austin, you're not doing nothing. You managed basketball in high school and you played. So why not?" Because who I was really good friends with him. So it was crazy. I didn't even ask him what he did at the school. So I was like, "Yeah, can y'all look for managers?" He's like, "Yeah." So he took me to the offices that day, met with the coaches. It was towards the end of the season, so they was kind of having the off-season workouts, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then after a while, the coaches, they started expecting me to be there. And then after that, I just kept going back. That's just where I was. And then my first year, I was pretty much the camera guy. I'm the first one to know coding at TSU for film and anything like that. So they kind of put that responsibility on me, but I
What was that?
learned it. And then right after that, the guy that brought me on, he graduated. So it was like, well, Austin, it's your chance, bro. Here's head manager. Then I had to, that's a whole different story right there. Being the head manager, being the head of something that you didn't even think you were going to be a part of until you finally decided, to lock in on something.
For sure.
It's crazy. It's insane.
No, I think what you just said, man, because the opportunity sounds like it wouldn't have happened if you didn't open your mouth and
Yeah.
befriend someone, right? Or build a connection with someone. And my podcast targets young adults, right? Even though I'm way older than you, I'm towards the
Mm,
end of the young adult age, and you're in the beginning, sort of, right? But just what I want young adults to really understand is that a lot of times we want things to occur, we want to accomplish things, and they will, but we first got to take the initial step, right? And so, like you said, something you never even imagined happened, all because you chose to open your mouth and reach out to somebody and connect with somebody. And I
mm,
think that's powerful, and I hope those that will watch and see this really understands the power of connections and the power of building relationships. And I
mm,
know, I teach, in high school, and a lot of people say, "Man, I don't do people. I don't need friends." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, you're only gonna get so far by yourself, right? I heard this saying says, "You want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." Right? And
mm.
so, and I just, what it is, man. We did it.
We read a book. It is called It Worked for Us.
Yeah, we're definitely excited for you to get your copy of our book, It Worked for Us. Tell them, babe, where can they find this?
You can find our book at KellemFamilyMoments.com, and it is also on Amazon.
Definitely, man. So, hey, we're excited for you to get this. Man, it's been a long time coming. Long overdue, man. So we're excited, and definitely go grab your copy right now at KellemFamilyMoments.com. And like I said, you had a vision for yourself in high school. So I want you to talk about that, man, because I think young adults, sometimes we want to wait till we get to an age, wait till we get to a point to start dreaming or planning our lives. But you had a vision in high school. So talk
Mm.
about, like, how did you come with that vision? Why was it important for you to have goals at 16, 17, 18 years old?
I of course, with any kid, they'll have like 40 different occupations they want to do. Like there was some point I wanted to be a chef. There was some point I wanted to fly planes. But it's something about when you finally find something that you like truly like are passionate about. But you'll know, like
Mm,
once you put your foot in it, you'll know exactly. But it's just one of them things where you just gotta try a lot of different things. So for me, it was for sure just like the my friends I grew around. You know what I mean? Like we're
yeah,
all sports heads. Like most of them. Like we're all sports heads, and that kind of just grew my relationship. Then I started playing it. Then I started managing it because I didn't play basketball. I just after football season, I didn't know what to do with myself. And that's
yeah,
that's how I kind of knew that sports is where I wanted to be at. Because right after football season, what I was just I was just going home. So I talked to Coach Lee at the time, and I was like, "Y'all need a manager? Somebody. I need to do something revolving
yeah,
around something." And I think after that season ended is where I kind of knew like I wanted to be a part of a team because I love that. And I think that's what I missed through COVID because I was by myself for a year and months. And once I was a part of a team, I think I started thriving again. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
coaching is for sure that's ultimate dream. I want to coach football one day. But
yeah,
equipment managing was one of them things that I kind of enjoyed at TSU, kind of fitting players, making sure they had everything they need. Because I learned that if you look good, you play good. And these players will tell you the most. If you look good to play, you know how many times I caught a player in the back stealing something? I'm like, you got to get
yeah,
out of here. We ain't got that much already. You back here stealing stuff.
yeah, yeah,
But I enjoyed it. Yeah, and once you like you got to try things. You have to. There's no way you're just gonna assume you like something and then the day comes and you hate it. You know what I mean? So in high school, that really that year of managing, that's what did it for me. Yeah.
yeah. Nah, man, I think I have this, I call it a triple threat, right?
Mhm.
Discover your triple threat, gifts, passion, and purpose, right?
Yeah.
And um, it sounds like you went through that step process, those processes without even knowing it, right? So you played
Mhm.
sports and you said, okay, once football was over, so you knew that you were gifted, and one of the gifts you had was playing sports, right?
Mhm.
But you once high school senior year over, right? Football, you're like, man, what I'm doing, man? I'm going home every single day. But you realize, okay, in sports,
Mhm.
but I'm passionate also about sports. So I was
Mhm.
gifted to play sports, but I'm passionate. See, some people are gifted to do things, but they're not passionate about it. I
Yeah.
had teammates that were great at football, but they weren't passionate about the game, right? So you
Mhm.
played, you was gifted to play then, but you also were passionate. So then you said, okay, what I tell people, I'm like, your passion is what you would do for free. Like
Yeah.
you would do this and nobody got to pay you. Not saying you want to do this forever for free, but
Mhm.
that's a way to discover what you're passionate about. And so because you knew you were passionate about sports, you said, okay, man, let me go manage. And then while managing, like you said, you tried it. Now you find purpose.
Mhm.
Now you going and be like, man, I find, okay, then I realize part of why I'm alive, a part of why I'm on this earth is to help others, to be a part of a team, to, like you said, help people feel good and go out there and perform better, man. So I just think that's amazing. And I just hope that, the young adults really, really understand that
Yeah.
it's a process. And when you understand your gifts and your passion and your purpose and you operate in your triple threat, it won't feel like work. I'm sure there were times when you was doing the managing with the basketball that did it feel like work to you? Or it was like, bro, oh man, I ain't even working right now.
It is it's half and half. It's really half and half
Yeah,
because there's some days, the guys, they'll make your whole day because they're talking about something they're not supposed to be talking about. But there's
yeah,
other days it's like there's so much going on, something could go wrong. Especially when I became that head manager and you got a man, think I had maybe like 12 people. One thing's not working. Oh, and I gotta ghetto something up to make sure that's not
yeah,
somebody forgot something. I gotta do. But I think it's that good balance of work and play that managing
mm,
basketball kind of gave me. Like I still enjoyed, being part of the team and everything, but it kind of taught me about managing people, managing your time, how to make sure people are on their goal, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's 50-50, really.
Nah, for sure, man. Hey, though, that's awesome, man. To run into you that day, and actually, that's probably what I'm gonna use that picture as a thumbnail for the episode, man. Just
Yeah.
it made me so proud because I think what I try to get my scholars to just understand is the dream, have a vision, have goals, and to see you actually living out and live out and walk into what you said at 16, 17, 18 years old you wanted to do is amazing, bro. And I know that moving forward, you're gonna do some more amazing things, and we'll get to some of the other things you got the opportunity to experience while in college. And I want
Mhm.
to go back to your upbringing a little bit, man. And
Yeah.
so I asked this question, and because people, your friends, they see where you are now, right?
Mhm.
College graduate, doing great things, man. But what about your childhood? You believe prepared you for where you are now and where you going? What about it?
Well, I mean, really, it's just really where I'm from. I grew up, I'm from Madison, Tennessee. So if you know Madison, I would say growing up, there was a lot of homelessness. Oh, like around me a lot. And you meet these people because I rode the bus home. So
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I'm 17 years old. I've been seeing this guy since I was 10. And I finally get the
Yeah.
opportunity to talk to him. He's kind of telling me about like where he's from and what he's did and kind of what he has done wrong, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is what a lot of these people tell me. They barely tell me anything good. They always tell me like what happened. So it's one of them things where it's like I I'm blessed to have the parents that I have and that I have the friends that I have and I grew up around the people that I have. So I cannot like waste this opportunity that God has given me up to this
Mm-hmm.
point. So I don't take anything for granted. Every lesson that I learn, every person that I talk to, even someone that I've met one time, which is most of the time when I was riding that bus. I met one guy one time, but everything he said, I remember to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just the people that again, it's relationship connections. It's the people you run into growing up that kind of set you apart from others because you're not gonna grow up by yourself. That's impossible. Like it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a
Most
village.
definitely.
Yeah.
So seeing you, in high school, man, and you had a great friend group,
Mm,
and I feel like, I tell the kids, man, show me your friends, and I'll be able to show you your future. Like, how important do you believe as a young adult, man, from seeing it in high school to choosing
mm,
your friends in college, and now being, really a young adult out of college right now? Like, how important do you believe it is for young adults to choose the right people to surround themselves and
mm.
then what type of advice would you give a young adult trying to select their friend group?
Yeah. Um, I think I'll start with the advice. Definitely choose friends that you connect with, you know, without really having to say like all my boys I've been knowing since middle school, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all so driven on something, and that kind of gravitated me towards them a little bit because we're kids, you know what I mean? And they weren't doing nothing crazy because I know my parents. I know what not to do and what to do, or I'm gonna get messed up. I'm bigger than them, but I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want no problem. So I know the right people to be around. And luckily the guys that I'm still talking to these days were the right ones. You know what I mean? We're all trying to do something to better our lives. And
That's
if you gotta you people know right and wrong, or you know what, maybe people don't know right or wrong, but if you can be like here, okay, if you can bring them around your mama, that's probably your friend. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like if you can bring around your grandmama, okay, that's probably your friend because they know how to act right. You know them friends you bring around your mama and they still the same. I'm like, whoa, you need to change. This is my
yeah,
mama. Can't
yeah.
be
Got to turn it.
yourself around.
Got to turn it down
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
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 chill
yeah,
out, but luckily my friends they know. They're real respectful, everything. So yeah, just choose the right people and stick with people. You know what I mean? Because there's so many friendships happen a year. I'm like, what happened? I thought you was friends. Oh no, I don't mess with her no more. Okay. I've been with my same friends for years. What are you doing wrong? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
So how do you, as a young adult, man, just through your experiences with friends, and I know guys, man, we're a little different than maybe ladies
yeah.
in the sense where we not cool one minute and then fall out the next minute and
That's
then cool again. Like
yeah,
well, if
best
we
friends.
fall out, we probably gonna be falling out for what I'm saying forever type thing. But
Yeah.
like, how do you what I'm saying, resolve conflict, man? Just being a young adult, got
Mhm.
friends, you right?
Mhm.
Everybody might have different goals, but you might be going, might have a different way of going about handling things. Like, how do you think young adults, man, should resolve conflict, or how do you resolve conflict just in your
I
friendship, man?
You just got to be vocal. I think that's you got to talk. Like if you're uncomfortable with something, you got to say something. Because if they're your real friends, they're gonna listen to you and they're gonna most likely change. If they don't care what you got going on or how you're feeling, them aren't your friends. Like, but I finna say I really call them my brothers for real. I feel like we barely argue. Like we don't argue. We may have a moment where we'll argue, but the next day we're fine.
Yeah,
I think that's just a guy thing too. Like nothing's that serious. We're friends. We've been knowing each other for so long. At this point, we're ride or die. Like these gonna be the guys at my wedding. Like through and through. So
yeah,
it's one of the things like if they're your friends, they're gonna hear you. They're gonna wanna see what's wrong with you. So, choose friends that actually care about you. Yeah.
That's real, man. And so,
Real.
talk about graduation, man, and graduating from TSU, the Tennessee State University, man.
Mhm.
How, like, what went into your decision, man? One, going to a HBCU and specifically TSU, Tennessee State.
Mhm. Crazy enough, I want to go to MTSU, where you went
Mm,
to.
yeah,
That's where I wanted to go. But I had to pivot to TSU. And I was a little salty because I wanted to go to MTSU. I already had my roommate and everything like that. But TSU taught me I feel like TSU would have given me a lot more opportunity than MTSU would have. Because TSU, we're a much smaller institution than MTSU. But TSU, it with the smaller institution, it seems like there's more of a family dynamic to it. So it's easier to talk to people. Like you can literally just knock on Penny door, and if he's there, he'll talk to you. You know what I mean? He's not like Coach K. Oh, you good luck trying to find his office. You ain't getting through there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
there's just this dynamic of TSU is a family. And I think I wouldn't have got that at MTSU. I don't think I would have got that. But by the way, graduation was crazy. It was raining and it was hot and it was sunshine and it was raining again. But
But
I got through it.
but
I
y'all
crossed
stayed
the
out there. I'm
stage.
about to say y'all stayed out there the whole time.
Whole time.
Hey, nah, and I think, man, because I did my undergrad at MTSU, and then I
Mhm.
got my master's at TSU. Right. So
Mhm.
when y'all was graduating in COVID from Republic, I was graduating in COVID from TSU. So I had to get my diploma over my degree through the computer screen, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
so but to your point of TSU being family, bro, you're totally right. Like
Yeah.
having both of those experiences, even though my undergrad experiences was at MTSU, I'm telling you,
Mhm.
just as a grad, right, being an adult going back to TSU, not giving the undergrad experience, I see that
Mhm.
family. I
Yeah.
felt like the professors, regardless of race, ethnicity, color, that they understood my plight, they understood where I came from.
Mhm.
And like you said, they were more relatable, more personable. I had personable, professors at MTSU, but all in all, man, that family environment, man, I'm so proud to say I'm an HBCU graduate as well.
Yeah.
So that was definitely dope, man. And so what if there's a young adult right now, man, or a rising senior in high school this upcoming
Mhm.
year, and they're trying to determine should they go to a PWI, predominantly white institution, or a HBCU, man, like what advice would you give them or could you give them on why they should choose one or the other, or or how should they go about making their decision then?
I think it's a preference. It's a preference thing. Like if you want, I'm about to say, there's a form of comfort, especially for like black students. You know what I mean? Like there's a level of comfort you get from going to a HBCU because everyone looks like you. You know what I mean? Everyone can relate. They're partying. Y'all listen to the same music. Y'all from the
Yeah,
same areas. And you know, it's just based on what you want to experience. Because if you want the big school, million people in your classroom, you probably want to go to a PWI. That's what they're kind of known for. But if you want like a kind of close knit, like I want to, well, it's school, but I want to have fun with my people and be part of culture and stuff like that. HBCUs is where it's at. You gotta go experience it. And plus, I think it's important for people to take tours too. I think that's really important. So, but if you make your decision, make sure at least you walked around the school, seen what they had to offer and stuff like that, for sure.
no, and that's one thing, man, I could say about I thought Republic did well.
Mm,
They exposed y'all a lot to colleges,
they
whether it
did.
was tours, whether just having different events for the colleges and stuff like that. So I was very impressed, man, my first year of teaching and
Hmm.
seeing the type of exposure that y'all were getting. When it comes to higher education, I thought that was amazing, bro. And so definitely, bro. That's awesome, and congrats on graduating again, man. And I seen your post, and this is kind of what when I seen this made me say, man, you know what? I got to get Austin on the podcast because I feel like
Hmm.
you one are doing amazing, and then
Yeah.
two, you can bring so much to my young adult, audience and to who I talk to, bro. So
Mhm.
you got an internship with the Nashville Sound.
Yes, I
So
did.
congrats on that, man. So how did that go, or how is it going?
Mhm.
And what did you take from that experience, man?
Oh, I took so much. That was like my true first internship with any form of sport. Crazy enough, a couple weeks ago I had an internship with the Titans. So I don't know if you want to transition over to that at some point. But yeah, by the way, if you're looking for if you're going to TSU, you don't know what you're doing, you love sports, I advise you to be part of HBSS because Dr. Smith, he is doing a lot when it comes to making sure we have an opportunities to kind of expose ourselves. They got internships with the Grizzlies, with the Sounds. I think they're trying to do with the Titans they just started. The
Yeah.
Predators, like especially for like once you get to that upperclassman state, oh, he is trying so hard to make sure we're exposed to so many people. Like I also went to the HBCU Legacy Bowl in New Orleans. I got invited to that.
Whoa, that's what's
So,
up, bro.
and where I met a bunch of NFL teams and stuff like that. So if you're this kind of a little bit of a plug, but if you're looking for something to kind of grow in HBSS at TSU, I think that's a really good place to go into.
Just want to just how powerful that is, bro. And
Yeah.
congrats on all those hands you shook. I
Mm,
look at networking opportunities like that, man, as planting seeds, bro. And
yeah.
you might not see a harvest, right? The
Mm,
moment you leave those, the Legacy Bowl or the Titans,
yeah.
but you just planted a seed in a year from now, a month from now, 5 months,
Mm,
5 years. Some point of time, those seeds will reap a harvest. You don't know which ones, but
yeah.
you keep putting yourself in those spaces, you're gonna bump into somebody that knew that person that can recommend you,
Hmm.
man. So salute to y'all. And I just want the young adults listen to what he's saying. All these
Yeah.
internships
Mm,
that he's getting by connecting, by developing relationships with people, specifically at TSU, and
yeah.
being able to get into those doors, man. And so that leads us into like, how was the Nashville Sounds experience? What did you
Mm,
learn? And then, man, I didn't know about the Titans. You got to definitely
yeah.
tell us about the Titans, bro.
Yeah. So the Sounds, it was, Sounds is AAA, I think, or double A. It's one of them, but it's a smaller kind of baseball team. It's not MLB, it's the level before it. So it's a lot smaller in a sense, but again, they took me through ticketing and advisement and media and ticket sales and everything like that. So crazy enough, it was one of them things where it's like I went there specifically for equipment but I kind of left like, that's interesting. That's not a bad idea. But that just comes with you having an open mind with internships because you may not be able to get what you want out of something, but that's the whole point. That's what the university works so hard for us to do is to expose us to so many different opportunities that you didn't even think you would even be interested in. But
Yeah,
the Natural Sounds for sure opened me up about different things that go into there's so many things that just goes into a sports team, period. And here I am just wanting to do equipment when in reality, oh man, media ain't bad or ticket sales ain't bad. Like we even had to do a little pitch, basically you had to pretty much sell like suites to people. So me and my group, we kind of had to come up with a whole shebang about why you should own a suite and stuff like that.
yeah,
So yeah, that's what I learned from the Sounds, especially for like a smaller ball club and how they kind of survive. They're moreover, they want people to have a good time than the money aspect. And I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean? But once you get to the MLB, it changes a little bit.
yeah,
But just being from Nashville, I've been hearing about the Nashville Sounds my whole life. So it's cool
mm,
to even be in the building like at 22, like I never would thought I'd be there, especially for no internship at all. But
yeah.
that week, it sure taught me a lot. It taught me a lot.
Now that, and I think, man, you said something, man, where you said that you got to have an open mind
Mm,
in internships because you go in thinking that you're going to get what you want, but you might leave getting what you need, right?
yeah.
And the fact, like you said, I went in, you were thinking about equipment, not only do you get equipment, but you got exposed to the whole entire other side of just athletics and running an organization, man, which I think is amazing. And I'm just wanting the young adults to understand, like, don't write off internship because it's not
Mhm.
exactly what you want, or even if it's not for paid, because
Yeah.
your compensation when you do internships for free, your compensation is the experience. Your
Yeah.
compensation is the network, the handshakes that you get, the phone numbers, the emails,
Mhm.
because they're going to pay you way longer than getting paid for an internship at this point. Does man.
So,
So how was your the Titans, man? The Titans.
oh man, I was so excited when I got that opportunity. Oh man. Like that was like truly like 2 weeks before I got word that they're doing that. And I was like, yeah, let me sign up for it. He's like, okay, I'll put you in.
Yeah.
So uh mind you, we did a week with the Titans. It was the week right after graduation. So mind you, the rookies were there. So they're all like we're at the is it the St. Thomas? We're,
Yeah, man.
we're at the practice, we're at the practice facility. So, the players are out there. It's crazy to see your dream kind of in your face like that.
Yeah.
So we got to see all the rookies and all the players practice and stuff like that. But it's the same thing with the sounds. It's football, especially the NFL, is so broad. It's not just pads, shoes, go out there. There's so many elements to the NFL because you think the media is important. Oh man, they got player engagement that goes over like finances and their relationship with God and making sure that they're mentally ready to play the game. And I'm gonna say you played in a professional arena, you know what I mean? So we you don't really it's kind of hard to explain like the level that you just kind of walk into like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is a different level of
It
play
is.
here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So a couple days was at the practice facility and the other days were at Nissan. So again, well, obviously they didn't have the grass out or nothing like that. So it wasn't like Nissan, but they went over a lot about the new stadium that they're about to build. And we even got to go see like a little like special area or whatever. And they kind of had a replica of what the stadium's gonna look like. And it was insane. It's gonna be an insane stadium. But yeah, and I also met with the equipment guy. Most importantly, I was really excited to meet with him. I talked to him. I kind of told him what I want to do. He told me to give me my email and stuff like that. And he said once the rookies and stuff are and when he's free, he'd like to sit down and talk to me. There was me and two other people that were really into equipment and stuff like that. So he um he said he'll find a time for us to sit down, talk about things, or even just a pathway, even if it doesn't just come out with a job with the Titans. As long as I just hear someone that's in a position that I want to be in, just hear his journey and hear his kind of suggestions on how to get to where he's at, even if it doesn't mean like, oh, we're gonna bring you on, but here's a little team down in Georgia. Hey, I know a connection. You can go down there. He's like, well, hey, I'm ready. So yeah, the Titans one is gonna be one I remember like forever for
Man,
sure.
it's man, I get chills, man, just listening to you, man, because I hear
Mhm.
a lot of what I'm hearing is, man, I'm doing stuff I ain't never think I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I, man, I'm getting to accomplish my dreams, and I really want young adults to just understand that if you discover your gift, your passion, and your purpose, and you operate in that, like doors that you would have never imagined, or you would have thought on a certain level, but God bless you to go beyond that level and even go further than what you could have even imagined. And it's just walking in purpose, being in purpose, having the right mindset, being willing to connect with other people, being willing to learn, being willing to sacrifice. And I just think, like, man, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, definitely keep up the great work, man. And literally, like, the sky ain't even the limit. The sky is your floor. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's just the floor of what you can get to. And I think about my friend, childhood friend, man. He over equipment operations and everything at FAMU. And I think
Mhm.
about his journey on how he got on, with FAMU, and he was, working, I think, as a GA, and then from a GA, he was working, as a staff member, and then next thing you know, he was like, "Hey, bro, the head equipment dude just left. I'm about to get it." Now he over all equipment for all the sports at FAMU.
Yeah.
He got to do the the Washington football team. He got to do that internship. So he got to
Mhm.
work in the NFL doing that, bro. And I'm like, bro, you made it to the league. I was like, bro, we
Yeah.
always dreamt about making it to the league.
Mhm.
Yeah, we thought we was gonna make it as players, but bro, you just made it as, you know what I'm saying, in equipment. And so
Mhm.
I want, you know what I'm saying, use you to use that as encouragement for yourself to keep going, man, and those that's listening, dog, like really, man, the sky really is the floor. And you know, that number, that one conversation with him, and like you said, and you got the right mindset because you're like, okay, I might not get what I want, I might not get an opportunity out of this conversation with
Mhm.
this person, but this opportunity could lead to another opportunity somewhere and things of that nature, man. So
Yeah.
definitely, bro, you definitely you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, man. And just in sense, man, like what would you say is your dream job? You could just lay it all out, write it plainly. What
Oh,
would be your dream job, man?
NFL coach.
And
NFL coach. Yeah,
but
that's
that
dream.
nah, most definitely, man. And I, you know, I like to have guests give advice. So I want you to give two people advice right now, right?
Mhm.
I want you to give a rising freshman
Rise first.
in college. So they just graduated high school. They going like my seniors. My seniors
Mhm.
I just taught, they going into college. What piece of advice would you give them in their first year of college?
Take your freshman year serious. Like take it seriously. You know what I mean? And also don't be afraid to talk or to ask questions because one thing it took me to my senior year of college to realize nobody knows what they're doing and nobody. Good. If you think someone got their lives all perfect, you are so wrong. You know what I mean? It took me a senior year of college to realize, dang, why didn't I just do that? What
Yeah,
was I doing?
yeah.
Ask questions. That is their job, is to help you out.
Mm,
Like it's not the other way around. It's their job to help you. You're paying the money. It's your tuition. It's your meal plan. It's your dorm. If there's a problem, you need to say something. Truly.
most definitely. Okay.
And yeah, that's my advice for freshmen.
So that's freshman. Now,
Freshmen.
got a senior.
Hmm.
College. It's their last year. You just finished your last year. It's their last year. They excited, but
Hmm.
what comes with senior year is anxiety because you don't know
Yeah.
what next, right? You don't know.
Mhm.
I know I'm about to graduate, but what after that, right? So what
Yeah.
advice would you give a senior, a rising senior in college, preparing for their
Mhm.
last year and going into graduation?
Try your hardest to be part of everything you can right now. Just try your hardest to be part of everything. I think my senior year was the most I can truly say I ever talked, for sure. And really, if I talked like this when I was a freshman, who knows where I'd be right now? You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have got all these internships if I didn't say so, if I didn't talk to somebody. They didn't just hand it to me. Some of these internships I didn't even know existed until I asked about it, and it was like, "Oh yeah, well, we got this, so you can be a part of that." And you build all these relationships through these years. As a senior, that should be your year that you sort of find your worth. Especially that year, you need to find your worth because
Yeah,
you may not get something that next year. It may not even be the next year, but that senior year is where you find your worth. That's where you find all the internships you can. I think you should try to find internships maybe that the beginning part of your senior year. Of course, get all your classes and stuff all handled and stuff like that. But you need to go be a part of something, some form. If you're not already part of something, you need to go be part of an organization. Go be part of a club, something, because there could be that one person in that club that can get you somewhere. And again, what you brought up earlier, like if you think you finna go through this alone, you're gonna be mistaken once you get to the end of it and you just have a degree and nothing to show for it.
mm,
So if you're a senior, do everything, be part of everything. Even high school seniors, like be part of something. You know what I mean? And then once you get to your freshman year, if you want to continue that, that's your business. That's if you want to do it, you do it. But a senior in college, be part of everything. Because I promise you, you might miss it. You might miss it. You might miss your blessing. It might be right in front of your face and you just won't say nothing. So be part of something. Yeah.
man, that's
Yeah.
powerful, man. Like you said, like you, it's so much blessings could be right in front of you, and you don't
Hmm.
even know if you don't open your mouth and say something. If you don't open your
Yeah.
mouth ask questions, man. And so that's definitely powerful, man. Powerful. And then as we close, man, I let my guests, I do all the asking of the questions. And so
Mm.
I put my guests on the spot. So you my guest today. And so
Oh.
I'll give you an opportunity to ask me one question, man. One question. It could be about this,
Mm.
about teaching, about life in general, sports, man. Whatever question you want to ask me, feel free to ask.
Okay. Um, I always wondered, you're a football great in my eyes. You're a football great, legend in my eyes, right? What made you go into teaching? And more importantly, did you get into teaching to coach at some point, or was it like, oh, I'm a teacher, oh, I can coach too, oh well. So I kind of want to know what that dynamic is, because I wouldn't be opposed to coaching in high school, but I know like a lot of high schools you also got to teach
Yeah.
something, and I don't really want to do that. So like, what was your kind of mindset going into becoming a teacher and coaching at the same time?
Okay, so to be honest, man, I didn't. So when I first got out of college, one of the things my mom was saying. So obviously, I was chasing my dream, playing professional football, which I was blessed to do
Mm,
that, thank the Lord. And one of the things my mom was saying was like, man, why won't you become a teacher? Like, be a teacher, right? I'm like, man, I don't want to be no teacher, right? Because my perspective at the time was of being a teacher probably wasn't a good perspective, right? It was
mm,
just my view of it. And then, I started, it go back, I didn't realize it at the time, but it goes back to like that triple threat, right? Gives passion, purpose. And I knew
mm,
like, man, ever since I was younger, man, growing up in Florida, I was involved with the youth, right? I'm speaking at the youth Sundays.
yeah,
When I got to college, I was involved with FCA. I'm going to the local high schools. And
mm,
I realized like I got a passion for the youth. Like I got a
yeah,
passion for kids. And so when I was playing football, I was also working at the Boys and Girls Club.
yeah,
And so then I'm like, okay, like after so long, I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. Then I stopped playing football. Then I became a director. And I'm like, okay, I need to elevate myself in life. I was inspired by my wife. My wife went and got her master's, right, and in
mm,
business, MBA, and it inspired me to go back. And so I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna go back and level up myself and give myself more opportunities, what would I go to school for? And then I
mm,
was like, well, I'm already impacting kids. I'm speaking, I'm working. And so I started to think about what my passion was and then what my purpose. And I believe one of my purposes on this earth is to make a life enriching, life enhancing impact in the lives of those that I work with, right? And
mm,
specifically the youth. And so I was like, well, I'm already doing this. So let me go back to be a teacher. And then that way, also, I knew I wanted to coach, but I couldn't coach with my current work schedule at the Boys and Girls Club.
right,
So it was like, you know what I'm saying, two birds with one stone, right?
mm,
I'm teaching, which I got a master's, I got a master's, so that they gave me more opportunity to make more
mm,
money. And then I'm able to coach. So I'm gonna scratch my itch and I'm coaching. I got a better
mm,
schedule. I'm getting off of work at 2:15. I could be with my wife and kids more. So I started
mm,
to think about all those things that I was doing, and teaching made sense, you know what I'm saying, for me because one, I could use one of my gifts, my voice, right? Speaking. So I
mm,
teach every day, so I'm using my gift. And then I can do what I'm passionate about doing, right? It's impacting the youth, and I'm passionate about sports, so I get to coach. Right, I
yeah,
still coach softball. I don't coach football no more.
mm,
Then I'm still fulfilling my purpose, which is I'm impacting kids every day. And so now I'm moving into a dean role, right? I'm getting out of
mm,
the classroom, going into the school year. I'm getting into a dean role, but still with this, I'm still in purpose because I'm still
mm,
impacting the youth. I still get to coach softball, and I still use my voice, one of my gifts. So that was my mindset, bro, on teaching. And what I didn't realize is that it's a lot of hidden money in teaching. Meaning
mm,
that okay, you might go Google how much money a teacher making Metro, right? You might be saying, well, oh, okay, that's so they make so and so amount of money, right?
mm,
But you don't see the stipends. You don't see if you teach an extra class. You don't see if you run a certain program that's ran by a grant that you get a stipend. You don't see the stipend you get for coaching. So you don't see all these other opportunities. And so that's
Mm,
what, those that might be interested in teaching, and you might be skeptical about the money. Not saying you, I'm talking about people that's listening,
mm,
might be skeptical about teaching. It's a lot of hidden money within teaching. And the schedule is so great that I got a business. So I'm off for the summer. Well, I could do all my speaking. I could travel and speak during the summer and
mm,
make money speaking while I'm still getting paid from my teacher money. And then even in the school, I'm networking, shaking hands. I didn't got speaking opportunities within the school district because I work in the school district. So I'm leveraging all those opportunities, bro. But that's how I got into teaching, man. I was already working with kids, and then I wanted
mm,
to coach. And so to be a coach, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to teach. Now they do hire coaches on the outside from working on the outside of the building.
yeah.
To me, to be more effective as a coach, being in the building allows you to be more effective because you
Yeah.
get to build those relationships and you see what's going on with your players, good
Mm,
or bad or indifferent, and then you're able to leverage that when you get on the field or the court, bro. So
yeah.
that's how I got into it, dog.
Everything I
Okay.
wanted to hear that, coach. That was everything.
You said what?
That was everything right there, coach. I
Yeah,
learned so much right there.
nah, most definitely, bro. Yeah, man. So, shoot, if it's something that even if you don't get into teaching first, I'm sure
Mm,
local high schools would love to have somebody like you, youth, intelligent,
mm,
experience, around their players, student athletes, because they're gonna be leaning on you. You're gonna have a greater connection with them than some of the other
mm,
coaches because you aren't too far removed. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And then you can
yeah.
get that experience and leverage that, bro. So, but definitely, man, if I could help in any way, definitely, you could use me as a resource or
Mm.
someone or advocate on your behalf too, dog, for sure.
I appreciate that, coach.
Nah, no problem, man. No problem, man. Well, what I'm saying, I allow my guests to end by just you can plug yourself, what you got going on, your handle,
Yeah.
gamer tag. You feel me? You got a gamer set up. You feel me? I feel like you about to play a
Yeah.
video game right after this.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, it's ready.
it's
I'm
ready.
ready.
Hey,
I'm ready.
I knew it. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you got the gamer light. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm ready.
you got the headphones. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, just share where people can find you, follow you, and then make it just end with love, not a love, but words of encouragement, man.
Yeah. My name is Austin Simpson. You can email me at asimpson190133 @gmail.com. I'm really looking for any opportunity anywhere, truly. Um, Words of encouragement. Hey man, just use your words. If there's one thing I wish I did growing up was talk more. That's that's really it for me. Just talk more. Use your words because your words are just as important as anybody else's. Truly. Thank you, coach.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, so with that being said, man, I want to thank you, Austin, once again for coming and blessing me and my podcast and my
Mm,
audience. I really appreciate it, dog. And for
mm.
those that's watching and will watching and listen, man, continue to wake up, striving to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, and y'all have a blessed day.